We're making no apologies. That's it, umhlaba mawuhlulwe, so that our people can have access to the land.
Life is difficult, but you must soldier on. Don't give up. If you are a coward, you don't belong here.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Simple Politics. So I today want to speak about two things or three. The first thing that I want to speak about that I think is very, very important is Ramaphosa answering a question about Starlink and the minister wanting to amend the BEE laws so that they can accommodate Starlink. And I heard the president there saying, Gubana, no, remember, this is for all the foreign investments. This is not only focusing on one, it's not only focusing on one company. And I'm like, President, you're just playing games, because we all know that we are all focusing on one company. That is number one. Number two, actually, I think maybe I will start with this video where he is, he's addressing South African people in a setup. There's also Abu Banyaza Lesufi there. I saw about Dimm McPherson. So it's all the important people in South Africa. So I think they switched off, they dimmed the light, which triggered him. So now he's expressing how it felt like in the Oval Office, and which I want to play for you guys because it just gives us a little bit of idea of how he felt in that moment. And it seems like he, even though they were prepared for anything to when they were going to address Trump, but it feels like he got confused. You know, sometimes you can over prepare for something, and when it happens in the moment, do you know that you can actually freeze and be like, that's exactly what it feels like, which I'm gonna play for you guys. I think I'm gonna start with that clip just before we get to the Starlink question and what he answered. And right at the end, I do wanna play a little clip from Julius Malema when he was saying, Gubana, to President Ramaphosa, Guti, it's important for him to stick and do things by the law. Nobody should be given an exception just because they are white or just because they are a millionaire. Things should be done the same for everybody. So I do want to play that clip for Julius Malema. And right at the end, if I do have time, I am going to attach a clip. It seems like the EFF was discussed in Parliament in Belgium. Guys, we need to pray for our president. He is definitely not safe. Sana, he is definitely not safe. Like, and you know, it's a pity that I need someone to translate what they were saying, because obviously I could not understand. So anyway, first things first, let's listen to Ramaphosa and how he felt when they dimmed the room in Washington in the Oval Office.
So when I came in, I saw the room going a bit dark. They darkened the room. And for a moment I wondered, what is this? It's happening to me again. because at that moment, we were seated very nicely, and I was beginning to get into a groove of, you know, interacting with this man. And I suddenly hear him say, no, dim the lights, dim. And I must say, a number of people have said, this was an ambush, this was an ambush. And I was bemused. I was saying, what's happening? So when I saw Clement, I said, this guy could have a role in all this. He's repeating what he experienced. But ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure
So as you hear, guys, it seems like the president had like a freezing moment in the Oval Office where he didn't know what to do. He was not sure what's happening. He didn't know how to react. And it happens, I mean, to the best of us, where you are caught, it's like you are caught off guard and you just don't know what to do. It seems like our president, that's why he did not know what to say. It seems like he got lost there. Anyway, let's listen to this clip where he's explaining about Starlink, or rather, all foreign investment that is supposed to come to South Africa.
With President Trump, notwithstanding the fact that Elon Musk was there as part of the US delegation. So it wasn't discussed. The process of having low orbit satellites providing Wi-Fi and internet connectivity is known in South Africa. We've been through that. And there are quite a number of other companies, Chinese companies, European companies, and Russian companies, and many others, and local companies who are interested in getting into that space. So people tend to focus on one company only, and yet we've got a plethora of companies that would want to get into this space. So the environment to enhance or enable investment to happen in that space is precisely what needs to be properly crafted, properly permitted to enable that to happen. So the process that the minister has unleashed is a process that is going to elicit a lot of comment from the public, from various key stakeholders, including current role players in the sector. So that in itself is going to exhibit the true democratic process in our country, that when something new, something that is topical or even desirable has to be flighted or implemented or initiated, it's got to be supported by a lot of discussion, by role players, even by ordinary people. So this is what is good about our country. Nobody ever stands on any platform and says, I'm going to do this. This is not an emperor's land or a dictator's land where you do whatever you like. Our democracy dictates that it has to be by the will of the people, by the involvement of the people, and by their wishes. So that's precisely what is going to ensue with this.
President Ramaphosa, you mentioned a little when you were giving your speech today that one of the things that was put onto the table was a doorway, cooperation between the African continent, something that's so important when it comes to infrastructure, but something that you put on the table. Can you maybe give us a little bit more detail about potential deals that were discussed in Washington?
Well, when we went to Washington, our key objective revolved around three issues. The first issue was to reset our relationship with the United States. A relationship that had gone sour, a relationship that had gone a little bit bumpy, where statements were being made which were not very helpful. And we felt that we needed to reset that relationship because the United States is a very important player. We export a lot of things to the United States. They export or they bring in a lot of goods as well as services to us. So for us, the United States being the biggest economic powerhouse in the world, we needed to reset the relationship. So in my conversation with President Trump on the phone, I said, we want to come and see you. And he said, by all means, please come so that we can discuss a whole range of things. So resetting the relationship was the key issue, one of the key issues. The second one was to set up a process of engagement, to engage on tariffs, to engage on investment, as well as business processes, to discuss.
So it seems like Ramaphosa still feels like it was a good idea for them to go to the US, even though a lot of people have criticized the president for going to the United States. But he feels like it was a good idea. He still says that the US is the biggest, one of the biggest trading. So, I mean, they needed to fix relations. The relationship was shaky. Of course, we know why the relationship was shaky is the false accusation of them saying there is genocide in South Africa. But I mean, the president still seems like he's happy with the decision of going to America, regardless of what happened. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think. But before, I want to play you guys this clip for Julius Malema. And then I want you guys to tell me if you think Julius Malema was actually correct in what he said.
You individually have emboldened white people to undermine us, and you have single-handedly destroyed the diplomatic relations of South Africa with other countries, and you have destroyed and juniorized the Department of International Relations. Mr. President. And le swantse le tsebe gore nto ya o bolela le ditsotsi tša o tshwana le bo Elon Musk go re taletša ka bana ba makgowa. And worse, Elon Musk, you organized a meeting with him or that telephone conversation through his immoral father, politically, economically, and otherwise. A man who has engaged in business in South Africa through illegal means, even when he has admitted to do so. Those are the type of characters you can't speak to. Imagine, Mr. President, had they said Donald Trump called the Guptas during that time. What were you going to say? You are going to say that Guptas are an independent state actor. You are not going to say that. You are going to feel undermined. And that's exactly what you have done. What are you saying about established practices of resolving issues in a diplomatic way and diplomatic channels in South Africa?
So, yeah. I mean, as we can see that if, of course, Julius Malema was in that Oval Office, things would have turned very differently. You can hear what he's saying. And obviously, you heard how Ramaphosa was speaking. But he still feels like, you know what, we need to tread carefully, you know, with the United States because they are the biggest trading partner that we have. So, I mean, we need to treat them with caution. So, I mean, as Julius Malema said, it's like you are making white people to stamp on our heads, basically. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think we needed the Julius Malema approach. Of course, everything was going to go very sour very quickly. Or if you think, I mean, Ramaphosa did quite well. Yeah, anyway, guys, just before I end the video, I want to play you guys the clip for the EFF being played in Belgium Parliament. Someone please translate this thing if we are safe.
The poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer.
Zo, collega's, shoot to kill, shoot de boer, de farmer. Dit haatdragende en anti-blanke, anti-Afrikanerlied wordt al jaren gescandeerd op politieke bijeenkomsten van de Zuid-Afrikaanse communistische partij Economic Freedom Fighters onder leiding van Julius Malema. Er circuleren talloze videobeelden waarin hij zelf en zijn aanhang dit lied zingen. Tot op vandaag, ook gisteren nog, zong Malema de slogan, het lied opnieuw met de goedkeuring van een uitzinnige massa. Nu, zulke uitlatingen zijn geen onschuldige retoriek of symbolisch protest meer, maar passen in een breder klimaat van etnisch gerichte uitsluiting, anti-blank.
Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. If you don't know who I am, my name is Zizipolo Pelana. This is Simple Politics. Please subscribe to this channel. It is free of charge. And also, guys, if you can support the channel, please support the channel. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Aluta continua. Until the next one.